Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Lauren. For today's video, I'm going to be doing part 2 of my makeup collection declutter. If you have not seen part 1, I will link that down below and up in the eye for you. In that video, I decluttered my foundations as well as my concealers, and I also gave an introduction of kind of what the project I've got going on here is. So what I'm doing basically is not only decluttering my collection, but I'm also picking out products to put towards a project pan. For today's video, I'm going to be starting with primers, and I believe I'm going to do powders as well, and I might do one other category depending on how these go, because I just kind of feel like all the primers and powders that I have, I really do enjoy. So I think the main thing here is going to be choosing products to put towards the project pan. So I don't know how satisfying this declutter is going to be, but at least we can pick out products that are maybe almost empty or it's time for them to be used up and put towards the project. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so these are all the primers that I have laid out here. I'm already kind of looking at it and I feel like this is going to be the biggest fail of a declutter, because I really do like all of these, or they're to the point where they're almost empty and I feel like it's not worth decluttering. I should just go ahead and use them up. So I think the main thing here is going to be choosing which primers to put towards my project. So the first one here I'm seeing, I know I really do like, this is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. I feel like this one is a pretty good moisturizing primer, and I actually feel like it's going to be great for the colder, drier months coming up. So I'm going to hang on to this one. This next one here is the Origins Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer with Willow Herb. I do really like this one. This is actually the foaming one. It's actually pretty interesting. But I've had this for a while and I feel like it's getting down to its last leg, and because it has that unique texture, I don't know about the expiration date for it. I didn't see one on here. So I'm actually going to add this one to the project pan. Next is the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. I do really like this one because I do have combo oily skin, and I feel like this is one of the few primers that actually does a good job of mattifying. This is actually just the trial size of it, but as you can see, there's not too much left in here. So I think what I want to do is probably put this towards the project pan, use it up, and kind of give some of my other ones a chance to test them out, because as you can tell, I've just been kind of loving this one. So I'm going to add this one to the project. Now these next few here I know are going to be staying in my collection. The Too Faced Primed and Poreless, I actually just recently picked up in my TJ Maxx haul. If you haven't seen that, I will link that above for you. Hourglass Veil Primer, this is one of my favorites, but it's just so expensive. That's why I always, when I do pick it up, I just get it in this small travel size. But I love this one, does a great job of smoothing out the skin, and I actually feel like it does a good job of mattifying. This is one of the primers I actually wore on my wedding day. Next is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. This one is new to me, so of course I'm going to hang on to this one. And then this is a Smashbox Primer Water. Now, I'm not sure what happened here because this is essentially empty. There's like one use in there. So I'm just going to add this to the project as well. But honestly, I might use it like tomorrow or the next day and just finish that up. Next is the Becca Skin Love Brighten and Blur Primer. This one I actually just got as I think a point perk or a free sample with my most recent Sephora order. And I don't want to add all Gimme Project products to the project pan just because this is sample size. I kind of do want to give it a chance and just test it out and see if I actually like it, so I'm going to hang on to that one. This Glam Glow Glow Starter in the shade Nude Glow was also a point perk I picked up with my Sephora haul. This one I like, but it's actually more of a moisturizer, so this is kind of great for those days when you're feeling a bit drier. Okay, next, this is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Primer Stick. So as you can see, it's actually like a stick. But this doesn't really do anything for me. It does have a nice cooling effect. I used to really like to use this under my eyes because it is cooling, so I felt like it did, at least in my head, it did, depuffing for my under eyes. But in reality, I don't think it really does anything. And what I didn't like about this was that makeup did not apply nicely over it. I feel like this has to be in your nighttime routine, and then the cooling effect doesn't really make sense at that point. And it also really just smells like a glue stick. So I'm gonna, declutter this one. So now for the rest of this bottom row, to be honest, I really don't think I'm gonna declutter any of these or add them to the project pan. I think to start with the 2 primers will be enough. I really do enjoy this NYX Honey Do Me Up primer. Also the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake. Of course, the Fenty Beauty one is one of my favorites. And then this one is kind of a unique one. This is from the brand Peri Para. This is the Banana Milk Blur Face Primer. So this has an actual yellow tint to it. So you can see that there. So I feel like this does a good job for when I'm having days where maybe my skin's a little irritated, a little red. It helps to cancel that out. So I don't use this too often, but it does has a very specific purpose, which it's good at. So that's why I like to keep it in my collection. Then finally, this e.l.f. Matte Oil Control Primer. This one is still fairly new to me, and I have been enjoying it, so I'm going to hang on to this one. Alright, so here are my results here from my primer round. I know this is very underwhelming, but, this is just a project for me, what I want to do with my collection, so, I don't feel like I need to get rid of them if I don't want to get rid of them. But I, of course, am going to pass on this one because it's just taking up room at this point. I do not use it ever. And then these 3, I do enjoy all 3 of these, but I want to get good use out of them. They're getting a little bit on the older side, and of course this one is essentially empty anyway, so it's just taking up space. So these are going to go into the project. Okay, so the next round here is going to be, of course, powders. So these are both pressed and loose powders. My powder collection is, of course, not as big as, my other categories that I have, so I don't know that I'll get rid of too many here. But so I'm just going to start going through. First one, of course, is the MAC Studio Fix Powder. I really love this one. It's very, smoothing, mattifying, gives a pretty finish to the skin. It's actually fairly new to me, even though this product has been around for forever, but I've really been enjoying it. This next one here is the Too Faced, it's Bananas powder. So because it has this yellow tint to it, it's supposed to be not only a setting powder, but a brightening powder. It does have a really delicious banana scent to it. I just kind of love this product because I think it's cute. I love the packaging. I love the banana scent. I was so excited to get it, but I just don't reach for it ever, which is really sad. And I don't know that I really love what it actually does, but I feel like it's one of those like collector items project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add it to the chopping block, make sure I use it a few times this week and just kind of see my real feelings on it. If I really don't like it, I'll get rid of it, but I don't know, part of me just wants to hang on to that. How could you not love that? Next is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Powder. This is in the shade Butter. I really do enjoy this one. You get a lot of product with it. I still have a lot left, so I'm just going to hang on to this one. This is probably my favorite setting powder of all time. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Setting Powder. I love this one. It blurs your skin. If you have oily skin, you need this in your life. It does such a good job of keeping you matte throughout the day. I use this all the time, so I know at some point I'll just eventually use it up, so I'm not going to add it to my project pan, but once I finish this up, I'm pretty sure I will definitely be repurchasing this, no matter what other powders I still have in my collection. Next is the Tarte Shape Tape Setting Powder. So of course the reason I picked this up because of my love for the Shape Tape Concealer, which is my all-time favorite concealer. But this powder, it was alright. It wasn't great. Wasn't bad, but I've actually kind of been doing a unofficial project pan on this project, just trying to use it up and get it out of my collection so I can, just have the ones that I really do like here. It's not bad. It's just I don't feel like it's anything special. That's all. So I'm just gonna add it to the project pan, just use it up, get it out. This next powder here kind of has a disappointing story to it, I guess you would say. This is the Essence Loose Setting Powder in the shade Banana. So I don't know if you guys remember a while ago there was a situation with Essence and Casey Holmes. So Essence put out a line of products. It was these powders, also a blush and highlight palette, I think 2 different ones, and maybe a few other products. And they marketed it as a collaboration with Casey Holmes, who's one of my favorite YouTubers ever. So of course I wanted to support her and go out and buy this. When I saw it, I didn't even know. I just saw it in Ulta I believe, and then like they had a the display with her face on it. I was like, oh, like that was weird. I would have thought I would have heard her announce it on Instagram, which she had not. So I guess there was maybe some sort of legal issue. Something happened where, Casey was not, and she did come out and say she was not involved with the product. So that was super shady. I don't know what happened there. And you obviously, of course, because of what happened, you can't purchase these products anymore. So I don't want to use them on my channel. I don't want to use things you guys can't get. But what's unfortunate is this is like a really good powder. I really like it. Because it is yellow, the banana powder or the banana color, it does have a nice brightening effect. It's very smoothing on the skin. It looks really good, but because of the history of it, I don't want it in my collection anymore. But I paid for the money for it and I like it, so I want to use it. So I'm going to add this one definitely to the project pan. Next, hopefully I don't blind you because this is a mirrored packaging. This is the e.l.f. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder. This I just got because I had never tried it and I hadn't really tried out many just different face powders. But it didn't do anything for me. I don't feel like it had a good finish to it. It just wasn't really pretty on the skin and I don't reach for it. So this one is getting decluttered. Next is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Press Powder. This is one of my favorite press powders ever. I feel like it has a really nice finish on the skin. It gives, nice coverage. You can either shear it out or you can pack it on. I feel like it does a good job, if you have a blemish, you cover it with concealer. This does a really good job of setting that into place. So I feel like it kind of has multiple purposes and I just really like it. So, and it's affordable. I think it's like $5.99. Get it at Walmart or, anywhere like that. So I'm definitely going to hold on to this one. This is actually the second one I've used it. I've already panned another one. But you can actually see I have hit major pan on that and that'll probably just naturally keep on happening. So I'll just leave that in the collection. And then last but not least, this is the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder. So this one is basically like a perfect dupe for the It Bye Bye Pores press powder. It does an amazing job of blurring out your pores, setting your makeup. It does a little bit of mattifying. You need this in your collection. I feel like it's perfect for any skin type. It's the perfect final touch on your makeup. And I think it's great, if you love the Bye Bye Pores powder, you don't need to keep spending the money on that. You can get this for like maybe $6, I think, at Walmart. So this one's great. Okay, so here are the results of the powder round. So I'm going to be keeping these 5 in my collection, leave them where they are, declutter this one e.l.f. one, add this Too Faced one to the chopping block, use this, try to make a final decision on it. And then these 2 here will be going towards the project pan. Okay guys, so here are the final results for this video. For primers and powders, I'm going to be decluttering 2 things. 1 primer, 1 powder. So not great, but at least I did something. Again, not sure about this Too Faced banana powder, so this is going to be on the chopping block. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm going to be posting decisions about all of my chopping block items. And then we got a good amount. We got 5 products here, which are going to be going towards the project pan. So I think for my next video, what I'm probably going to be doing is a bronzer, blush, and highlighter declutter. I feel like that's a lot. That's probably the biggest chunk of my collection, mainly the highlighters. But I feel like I'll do them all together because I don't know that it'll be too many that I'm going to be getting rid of. And I just kind of feel like they go together as a category. So if you like doing declutters and project pans, make sure you give this video a thumbs up down below and make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified of all of my upcoming videos and you don't miss out on any future declutters, tutorials, or when I start my project pan officially. I'm going to be doing an intro video for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye guys.